Hey peeps, we are back. We're talking The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 7. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. Happy holidays, peeps. I am just now watching The Real Housewives of Potomac, and here it is, Saturday. It's the eve of Christmas Eve, and I am just now watching this episode. Well, let's just get into it. So the episode picks up right where we left off. Robin is in the car, and she is still crying, and she's upset. She feels as if Candace is blaming her, talking about the legal case with Juan and his college is the reason for Juan losing his job. I don't have any sympathy for Robin. I would like to have sympathy for Robin, but I truly don't. I can't muster it up. She's not only upset that Candace made the comment that she shouldn't have talked about Juan's legal situation. She's mad at Chris for Chris making comments online and Chris making comments in the interview about her, supporting Giselle and about her being, down with Giselle's behavior. And listen, there are a lot of comments that other people on the show make, including Robin. This man is defending himself. You and Giselle and Ashley and even Mia was a part of this whole thing, trying to make it seem like this man is a predator out in these streets. And that was wrong. He has the right to stand up for himself. And she was saying, the husbands, and Wendy said Eddie hasn't said anything. Chris has the right to defend himself. In the meantime, the rest of the girls are pulling up to this place, and Karen says, oh my God, Ashley's got us at a hole in a wall. And Ashley says, those are the best places. And it's true. Some holes in a wall can be awesome. They have really good food, really good music. You can have a great time. However, this particular place, I don't love it. Okay, I did not love it. I did not love it. I don't understand going to a place that serves food, but they're walking around allowing you to pet chickens. Not only that, the chicken bingo, the chicken shit bingo, I don't get it. I'm going to buy a ticket for a number and wait for a chicken to shit on my number. I think that was the most low budget, low class. Yeah, Ashley she can no longer be in charge of the trips. That was gross. I thought it was gross. I thought it was unsanitary. Yeah, nope. I'm not a bougie person. I'm not. Now, if you would have took us to a hole in the wall establishment and they had regular bingo or even Uno or Twister, for God's sakes, I would have did it and had a great time. But sitting around waiting for a chicken to shit is not cute. Oh, that was just wrong in so many ways. Robin comes in finally. She sits down and she starts crying. She is having a complete breakdown. Candace gets upset seeing Robin crying. The next thing you know, she starts crying. Mia is interrupting, and I'm sick of it. Mia wanted to add a little razzle dazzle to it, put a little gasoline on it, and it was too much. She's trying to make it seem like Candace was trying to make it all about her. She wasn't. Candace is a very emotional person. We all know this. She's upset by seeing Robin cry. I think that Candace and Robin really like each other, but they can't pull their relationship back together because they are both still very upset. Neither one of them has honestly sat down and talked to each other and apologized. Candace asked Robin for a sit down, but they never got around to it. I think that if they could just sit down and think rationally and speak to each other like grown women without yelling, screaming, fussing, and fighting and crying, they could work something out here. Candace says that she doesn't know if she's ever going to be able to be friends with Robin as long as Robin is always co-signing Giselle's foolishness. And that is something to think about. I don't know if it's possible that I would be able to be friends with Robin if I knew that she was going to always hold Giselle down in the bullshit. Now, you remember at the beginning of the season last season when Giselle told her story about Chris, Robin did tell Giselle, that's a little bit of a reach. But then as the season continued, Robin was with it. She didn't stop Giselle. She didn't comment. She was right there listening to Giselle, Ashley, and Mia pull extra fuel on the fire. And then somehow Chris and Candace end up being the bad guy. You're interfering with this man's livelihood. You're interfering with his reputation. I'm sorry, I cannot feel bad for Robin. At some point, Giselle tries to get involved, and I don't know for sure, but I could have sworn she called Candace that thing. She made a comment talking about that thing over there is not her friend. Girl, you really need to watch how you talk about people and the things that you say. You are not a friend either. Robin talking in the car or sometime, I don't know. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to remember how the scene went, but Robin saying something about she didn't do shit to y'all. No ma'am. No ma'am. Absolutely not. When Mia was being absolutely disrespectful and attacking Wendy, didn't we see you pull out your cell phone and smile as you recorded her, making some kind of statement that you wanted to record her so that her college, where she is a professor at, could see her behave like this? You were smiling and laughing. You thought that shit was cute. You have done stuff to people, Robin. It's weird to me. Robin sat there and was watching Giselle and all the rest of the girls try to accuse Chris of being a predator, of, SA assault or harassment or whatever. And now here it is, Robin's husband's in a lawsuit for SA harassment. And now you want us to cry for you, but you didn't cry for what Candace was going through. You didn't cry when you were making all those comments and allegations regarding Wendy and her body and Eddie possibly having a baby or a mistress, or all the times you made comments or jokes about Ashley and her husband. You weren't crying for them. You didn't care about the emotional stress they were going through, but you want all of us to care and shed a tear for you. No, I am not going to allow Giselle and Robin to be victims. They can carry this victim narrative as long as they want to, but it's not going to work. And they keep trying to make Candace the bad guy. But Candace only came for them after they came for her and her husband. If you cannot handle it and you don't want to deal with it, don't come for other people, because you never know what they're going to come back at you with. Robin and Giselle, they have always taken joy in other people's pain. They have enjoyed embarrassing people. They have enjoyed bringing everybody's business to the show. We saw this on this blog. We saw that on that blog, whispering and talking about people behind their back. They loved it, enjoyed every second of it. She was very happy to smile up in Wendy's face and let her know she wasn't invited to her field day bullshit. She had zero grace, but now everybody is supposed to give her grace. I don't think so. Robin runs out of there at some point. Mia runs after her. I said, oh my God, are we really doing this? While they're out there talking, the people came around to pass around a live chicken for people to touch and have dinner. I don't think so. One thing that I did not miss is Giselle was outside calling Candace all kinds of bitches. Oh my gosh, Giselle has always got all this smoke when nobody's around. That's real funny, because whatever Candace comes for you, you sit there shocked and on silent. But she's not there, so you getting type. Girl, please. And then at some point, she told Robin that she was on ready. And I busted out laughing. I said, ready to do what? Because every time the time arrives for you to be ready, you sit there on mute. Girl, bye. Robin, I hope you ain't looking for Giselle to step up to the plate to help you, because it's not going to work and it's not going to happen. Candace is upset. She wants to leave, but she goes outside and she talks to Karen and Wendy. Giselle is out with Robin and Mia. Becca is inside the chicken shit bingo with Ashley. Candace is explaining it to Karen and Wendy that all she did was give her opinion. She doesn't think it's a good idea to speak publicly about open lawsuits and investigations. She says that, when they asked her about the Michael situation, she's not going to speak on it. She's currently in a lawsuit with Michael, and Michael is still married to Ashley, and that's absolutely understandable. And I don't know why Robin was trying to push the issue to get Candace to talk about it. It all started when Mia brought it up in the first place. Mia knew better. She knew what she was doing when she asked Candace about the lawsuit. Candace said nicely that she's not discussing it. Then all of a sudden, here's Robin with her smart comment talking about, can we just get a list on what we can't discuss? So when Candace comes back and she says, it's not wise that you spoke on Juan and his legal case. Now all of a sudden we got the waterworks. I didn't do anything to anybody. Girl, bye. Let's not forget, you also threw that big Bluetooth speaker on the table to play Candace's Instagram live. I mean, Robin, the list goes on and on of the things that you and Giselle have done. So after Candace has the talk with Wendy and Karen, she calms down enough that she can go back into the chicken shit bingo. Robin, Giselle, and Mia go back to the hotel. Robin cannot pull herself together. And it was a little bit hard to watch. Everybody was in there laughing and joking, dancing around, and Candace was crying. I said, oh gosh, can y'all just get out of the chicken shit place? So Giselle ends up talking to Karen and saying that, her and Candace's relationship is going to be completely over because after Candace attacked her and called her a colorist, she started getting death threats. Well, I'm just going to say it first and foremost. I have to say this. There should never be death threats. No one deserves death threats. However, I'm not falling for this victimization shit with Giselle either. You haven't acknowledged anything that you have done. As a matter of fact, you doubled down this season and said that Chris made you go into a locked room. That is not how you were explaining it last season. I think that I do feel sorry for your beautiful daughters. They don't deserve any backlash. But come on. Your behavior comes off as colorist all the time. You created these issues and now you want to play the victim. It is not going to work. I think that Giselle is showing every single season that she really needs to go. She never has a storyline. She is always arguing with the women of color. She's always arguing with the other women on the show. By other women, Wendy, Candace, and Karen. And she's not really bringing anything. There's no real substance to Giselle being on this show. And Giselle should also realize that Candace is not the first person to bring up the fact that Giselle is a colorist. It was brought up before in season 1 and season 2. And it wasn't Candace. I think Katie actually brought it up at one point. And also, remember at the reunion last season, Giselle, she literally told Wendy to her face that she didn't care that Mia had assaulted her because she doesn't like her. And you want people to feel sorry for you. You don't have any sympathy for anybody else and what they've gone through. But you and Robin want us to feel bad for the two of you. I just can't do it. So it's Karen's triple 20 birthday. She's 60. Giselle brings her a bottle of wine, a bag of M&Ms, and a Snicker bar. And Karen says, thank you. This looks like it came from the hotel, but thank you. I said it absolutely did. Before she went to Karen's room, I'm sure she stopped by the gift shop. Gordon has a little scene with Mia. He says he's going to sue his siblings to get the $500,000 that they owe him. And Mia says that she doesn't agree with that. I think that she's lying and she's only saying that on TV. As money grubbing and gold digging as she is, there's no way in hell that she does not want that man to get that $500,000.
Speaking of Mia, her and Jacqueline are friends again. They are back hanging out. I guess now that her and Gordon are separated and she's got a new man and a new business, she can bring back her old best friend.
So they also went kayaking, and I thought that was really cool, but I don't think that was a great thing to do for Karen's birthday. This is the second year in a row she's had to spend her birthday with these girls, and they have ruined it again. But kayaking is something I would do as long as there's no alligators. I don't mess around with gators. I do love watching swamp people though. I love those people. They're so salt of the earth. I wouldn't mind riding in one of their airboats with them, but I'm not wrestling no gator. Anyway, The girls are not the best at it, but they find a way to have a good old time. They have a little bit of wine. They're laughing and joking, singing, and, having a good time. Giselle and Robin are slow as turtles out there in the kayak, but at least they had a good time. We find out that Karen is going to buy her grandmother's home, which is 104 years old, and she's going to turn it into a mini resort back in Surrey. And I think that is super cute. I think that's a great idea, and I think that she'll have a lot of visitors. She was also telling Candace that back in the day, her grandmother used to have a refrigerator on the back porch, and Candace said hers did too, and I busted out laughing because mine did too. We used to have a deep freeze on the back porch, and the back porch was enclosed, and I used to go out there to get all my popsicles too. I mean, I don't know if it's a southern thing, but get down in the comments. Did your grandmother used to have a refrigerator on her back porch or a deep freeze? I mean, it's something about that. The washer and dryer was back there too. Anyway, Robin gets back to the hotel and she calls Juan to tell him everything that has been happening on this trip. And Juan does it again. He embarrasses the dog shit out of this woman. And you know what? As upset as Robin makes me, this woman does not deserve to be treated like this. She really doesn't. Robin is blaming everybody else for the stuff that has happened to her in this relationship with Juan. Juan is the one who is causing the problems for you, not the rest of the girls. You are becoming a victim because you are allowing this man to treat you the way that he does. There has not been one season on this show that man has not yelled at her and shown to us that he doesn't care about her as much as she cares about him. And she's always trying to make believe that this man is a nice man. He's so nice, he's paying for hotel rooms for some random girl who happened to be coming there to see a Baltimore Raven. No, ma'am. As mean as he is to you, the way he was talking to her, gaslighting her, manipulating her, screaming at her, he did not validate any of her feelings or emotions. He didn't care. The woman was crying and she was in pain. She was emotional and he didn't care. He is a complete jackass who does not have any emotional intelligence, in my opinion. Anyway, peeps, I'm sick of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.